Bonjour, madame. Bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Je vais bien, merci. Et vous? Je vais bien. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. How are you? I'm doing good. Thank you. And you? I'm doing good. You see, it is always polite to ask the other person how they are doing as well by adding et vous. You see, I told you that this is a formal conversation example. That is why the pronoun that we are going to refer to the other person with is vous. Comment allez-vous? How is it going with you? Let us take a look at another example. Bonjour, monsieur. Bonjour. Je vous présente mon ami Jean. I would like you to meet Jean. Ça fait plaisir de vous revoir. It is a pleasure to meet you again. Ça fait plaisir de vous revoir. It is a pleasure to meet you. Let us see one example of a conversation in informal setting. Salut, comment ça va? Ça va bien, et toi? Ça va bien, merci. Enchanté. Nice to meet you. See, the informal conversation is using tu as the preferable subject pronoun to refer to the other person. Let us see one more example of informal conversation between three people. The first person introduces the second person to the third person. Salut Michael. Salut, ça va? Ça va bien. I am fine. It is going good. Et je te présente mon ami Michael. And I would like you to meet my friend Michael. When Michael says, Je suis heureux de faire votre connaissance, I am happy to meet you. Je suis heureux de faire votre connaissance. I am happy to meet you. The other person says, heureux, happy, or my pleasure. During a conversation, you could be asked with the question about your name. What do you name yourself? How do you call yourself? What is your name? The most common verb that is used for this conversation is s'appeler verb. The question you might face are comment tu t'appelles or comment vous appelez-vous? I will repeat. Comment tu t'appelles or comment vous appelez-vous? If a person is asking you about another person, what is his name or what is her name? It can be comment il s'appelle or comment elle s'appelle. You see, il and elle are two subject pronouns for he and she. What is his name and what is her name? If you ask for literal translation of this question, it is not what is your name, because what is your name is written as quel est votre nom. Quel est votre nom is what is your name. But the question that arises here is comment tu t'appelles? How do you call yourself? Because the verb s'appeler means to call. Comment tu t'appelles? Comment vous appelez-vous? How do you call yourself? What does he call himself? What does she calls herself? Comment il s'appelle? Comment elle s'appelle? Answering to this question, answering about your name, you can say je me présente. I would like to present me or myself. Je me présente, and then you can state your name afterwards. You can also use je suis, like if you are answering a call and if you know the person from earlier. You can say je suis and then you can add your name. Or the better way for answering a question like comment tu t'appelles can be je m'appelle. So telling about your name can be done using this phrase. Je m'appelle Mehek. I am Mehek, or the literal translation goes like this. Je m'appelle Mehek. I call myself Mehek. If you want to say my name is, you can say mon nom est Mehek. My name is Mehek. If the question was quel est votre nom? What is your name? Quel est votre nom? My name is Mehek. Or you can say, Je m'appelle Mehek. I call myself Mehek. It is always polite to ask the other person what is their name. Et vous can be used for asking and you, or you can use et toi and you for an informal setting. Et vous, et toi. Let us see how it goes. Como il s'appelle. What does he calls himself? Il s'appelle Martin. He calls himself Martin. Como tu t'appelles? Je m'appelle Mehek. I call myself Mehek. You may also get asked about where you come from. D'où viens-tu? Where are you from or where you come from? Où, where. Vient is the verb that is used for saying to come. D'où viens-tu? Where you come from. De quel pays es-tu? From which country are you? De quel pays es-tu? The formal way of asking the same question can be de quel pays êtes-vous? De quel pays êtes-vous? From which country are you? Or you could be asked d'où viens-tu? Or the formal way of asking the same question is d'où venez-vous? From where you come or where are you from? I will repeat. D'où viens-tu? D'où venez-vous? De quel pays es-tu? De quel pays êtes-vous? You can answer the question by saying Je viens de, and then you can write the name of the place where are you from or the name of the country where are you from. Like I can say Je suis de l'Inde. I am from India. In English, I would not say I am from the India, but while writing in French or while speaking in French, I will use the definite article before the name of the country. We will learn about articles in coming classes. I can answer the question, where am I from? D'où viens-tu? By saying, Je viens de l'Inde. I come from India. Je viens de l'Inde. I come from India. You might also be asked, Où habites-tu? Where do you live? Où habites-tu? Or a formal way of asking the same question is, Où habitez-vous? Where do you live? You can answer the question by saying J'habite à and then the name of the city. Before the name of the city, you always write a. If you belong or if you live there. J'habite à Paris. I live in Paris. J'habite à Paris. I live in Paris. J'habite à Delhi. I live in Delhi. You might also be asked about your age using the following questions. Quel âge as-tu? Quel âge avez-vous? I will repeat. Quel âge as-tu? How old are you? Or a formal way of asking this question can be Quel âge avez-vous? To respond to this question about your age, you will say j'ai and then you will write the number or the age you are. Like, let's say I'm 10 years old. I'll say j'ai 10 ans. I'm 10 years old, j'ai 10 ans. Notice here, while telling your age in English, you always use verb to be. I am 10 years old. But in French, you use avoir verb. J'ai 10 ans. J'ai 10 ans. That is, in English, you will translate it, you will get I have 10 years. But it is not about the literal translation. Always keep that in mind. J'ai 10 ans. J'ai 10 ans. I am 10 years old. J'ai 20 ans. I am 20 years old. I'll teach you about the numbers and then you can present yourself and tell me how old are you. If somebody is asking you the question, Quel âge as-tu? Quel âge avez-vous? How old are you? Asking about work. Quel est ton travail? What is your work? Or what do you do? Quel est votre travail? What is your work? Or what do you do? Votre and vous are different from each other. Vous is for you, whereas votre is for your. The same way, tu is for you and ton is for your. What is your work? Quel est ton travail? Quel est votre travail? What is your work? You can answer it by saying je suis, I am a student. Let's say je suis un étudiante. I am a student. Je suis un étudiante. Je suis un étudiante. Je suis un professeur. I am a professor. I am a teacher. Je suis un acteur. I am an actor. These are the sentences you can make and by adding the name of the profession in the end with the verb, être verb, je suis étudiante, I am a student. We will learn about verbs in detail. People may ask, what languages do you speak? Quelle langue parles-tu? Quelle langue parlez-vous? Quelle langue parles-tu? Is an informal way of asking what languages do you speak. Whereas quelle langue parlez-vous is a formal way of asking what languages do you speak. You can answer it by saying je parle anglais, I speak English, je parle anglais et j'étudie français. If you want to add more than one languages, you can add them by saying and, that is et. Je parle anglais et j'étudie français. I speak English and I study French. Je me présente, let me present myself. Je m'appelle Mehek Panjwani. Panjwani, c'est mon nom de famille et Mehek, c'est mon nom prénom. J'ai 26 ans. J'habite à Bilaspur. Je suis indienne et je suis professeur de français. Je parle hindi, anglais et français. I am hoping now you will be able to greet people in French and make a conversation about how they are doing, what is their name, where they are from, what is their age. And also you will be able to present yourself just like I did. Thank you.